For the second part of this video, you're going to calculate the different arc lengths. I gave you the same 4 degrees that we did on the first example, but you're going to notice at this time you have a radius of 7. So again, if you would like to practice these, it's the same formula. So our formula is the measure of the arc AB divided by 360 times 2 pi r. That's the formula that you'll use for all of these. Just again, your R will be 7, but you're welcome to go ahead and try them. I'm going to work them out really quick. Don't have to draw a picture this time. So since I know 2 pi r is going to be the same for all of these, I'm going to go ahead and compute that so I don't have to keep doing it. So 2 pi r, and in r being in this case 7, is going to leave me with a 14 pi. So that is what I'm going to plug in right here. I'm going to put a 14 pi just because all of these have the same. So you have your 180 over 360 times 14 pi. This again is a 1/2 times 14 pi, and then reduce that and you should get 7 pi. Our next example is 90 over 360. Again, times 14 pi. 90 over 160 we said is 1/4 times 14 pi. This one doesn't clean up as nicely. This will go 7, this will go 2, so 7 pi over 2. Then we have 60 over 360 times 14 pi. This will be a 1/6 times 14 pi. This one again won't reduce as nicely. This will be a 7, this will be a 3, so 7 pi over 3. And then lastly, our 45 degree. So 45 degrees over 360 times 14 pi. 45 over 360 was a 1/8 times 14 pi. Again, doesn't reduce super nice, but good enough. So 14 becomes a 7. This becomes a 4. So 7 pi over 4. So some of the other language that you'll see, and you'll see this on your homework as well, is they'll say a rotation. Rotation is just your angle. So it's the same angle that we've been doing on all the other problems. It's exactly the same. So this will be a radius. This will be 16. You want to go to 120. So we know this is 90. So if I add a little bit more to make it another 30, so give me a 120. So about there, I'm going to say that's our 120. Okay. And then we're just again going to use our formula. So our formula is 120 over 360 times 2 pi, and r is 16. You know 120 over 360 is just 1/3. And this will give you a 32 pi. Now nothing cancels, so I'm just going to write it on top, but for this problem, I do want you to work it out in a calculator. So when you work it out, just have your pi be 3.14. So you're going to do 32 times 3.14, and then you want to divide it by 3. And you should get 33.4933. And again, I didn't use the pi button. I used 3.14. Round this, let's say, to the 10th spot. So we'll make it about 33.5 feet. And then we'll do the same thing on the second example, part B. So rotation of 270. 270 is an equal increment of 90. So that's telling us we're going to go all the way down here. It's a little bit off. So 270. This time my R is 24. So we're going to do 270 over 360 times 2 pi times 24. 270 divided by 360, this is 3/4 times 48 pi. So this one we can reduce a little bit nicer. So 4 and 48 will cancel. 3 times 12 will give you a 36 pi. Then again, for pi, just use 3.14. So you should get 113.04 And if I round that, it's just 113.0 feet. Our last example is going to be a word problem. You have a few of these on homework as well. So you want to look for some key words. So first it says circular, and it says they rotate, okay? They pause every 120 degrees. How far, so you know you're trying to find a distance, did the shelves travel if it had a radius of 8? So basically, if we put it in the form that we're used to seeing it, so we put it in a circle, so 120 degrees, we're going to say is about there. It's a little bit far. So 120 degrees, my R is 8. And I'm basically just plugging into the formula again. So 120 divided by 360 times 2 pi times 8. So then you can work that out. You get 1/3 times 16 pi. Nothing cancels, so 16 pi over 3. Do 16 times 3.14. And then divide it by 3, you should get 16.746. Again, if we round to the tenths place, it'd be about 16.7 inches. That's it.